Oh my goodness. Who can see them? We got a bunch of little tiny caterpillars. Oh my goodness, that is a lot more caterpillars. Got some worms. Bye. Make sure I'm not squishing anybody. We've still got like a full water tube. That is very good. So I'm just gonna put it in here. That's how big they are. So there's a lot of leaves in there and a lot of babies. I'm probably not even gonna touch this for like 2 days. Oh, and then over here, I've got another leaf with lots of eggs.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Look at all those eggs. They're so tiny. There's so many and they're so tiny. Hi everybody, Jason Sebastian, Butterfly Square Garden. So I just wanted to show you guys the next step of the process. Our painted ladies are laying lots and lots and lots of eggs. So I set up a little pickle jar terrarium. On the top, I poked holes, big holes, and then I covered it on both sides with a micropore tape so it's not sticky. On the inside, I just did a little sheet of paper towel. What I'm gonna do now is gently just place the eggs down like so. Don't get your hand stuck. I don't like that, hold on. Okay, that's better. So we've got the eggs in the jar. They're going to hatch either tomorrow or the day after, or the day after. What I'm excited about is this morning glory leaf. Morning glories survive in flower tubes much better than the burdock, which is already crispy crisp. But this one will do well for like a week, which is more than enough time for the baby caterpillars to eat it. So let's put them in there. So make sure you position the leaf so that at least some of it is touching. And that's really it. That's how I am going to have the new setup for hatchlings, which up until this point I thought were kind of difficult to work with, but with this new setup, it's probably going to be the easiest. They say that the bigger they get, the easier they are to work with, but when they're so small, like, look how many I can fit in this little jar. So when they're bigger, they are going to need more fresh air, but you know, they came in cups and they're going to wind up in jars. That's it. Once they start hatching, I will let you guys know. And then once that happens, I'm going to just take the lid off and then maybe put a little vine in there and they can crawl in and out. You know, we'll get to that when the time comes, but this will last us for probably a week. That's what I'm thinking. All right, everybody, Jason Sebastian, Butterfly Square Garden, love you guys. And I'll keep you updated. Cross your fingers, this is gonna work. Okay, love you, bye. Oh my goodness. Who can see them? We've got a bunch of little tiny caterpillars. They've started hatching. And they're gonna go on to the morning glory. I think I had the jar facing the wrong way, so they all went towards the light. And I'm gonna turn it so that they walk on to the morning glory. It's hard to see. I don't really see much chew marks because the label's in the way. But we do have baby caterpillars. That's good. Butterfly Square Garden, love you, bye. Hey everybody, so it's hard to get in focus. There we go. The baby caterpillars are eating the morning glory. They are. I rotated the jar so that it was, you know, the leaf was in the light. And yeah, they're still walking around the jar. They're still on the first leaf and stuff, but they are starting to migrate onto the morning glory. They might not be as hungry because the first thing that they do is eat the shell of the egg, and then they move on to the plant. But there are nibble marks. It is happening. I was just over working on my jasmine wall, and then over there is the morning glory. And I don't want, ooh, look, there's a cat walking around. I don't want the morning glory traveling into my jasmine area. So I just kind of ripped off a couple vines, and this was the biggest leaf. So I'm gonna put that in there right now. All right, so now this jar is pretty much full with morning glory leaf. I accidentally kind of squished one. That's not good. So I'm gonna limit my interaction from now on because I don't like doing that. Anyways, I'm gonna put those vines in the water just like I do with these guys because they just start growing roots, and I like when that happens because then I can plant them. Anyways, just letting you guys know that that is working really well. The painted ladies are over here. If you look underneath, there's a whole bunch of eggs underneath. I let them lay for a couple of days, you know, like say like 3 days, because then they'll start hatching, and I want to take the leaf out before the eggs start hatching. And then I'm going to do my jar system, and then once they're a little bigger, I'll move them into a netting so that they can't, you know, the babies can actually climb through the holes in the net. This is the time of night that they're going to start mating, and then the next day, you know, they start laying eggs. So I'm going to get as many eggs as I can from this batch, and I will take it easy with the next couple of batches. But at least in the beginning, I want to get a good couple hundred painted ladies. So that's the plan, just keeping you guys updated. Over here, we've got the monarchs still. I don't think any of them died yet, but they're definitely slowing down. I should change out the dishes because they're getting a little dirty, so I think I might do that, you know, maybe in the morning. Okay, that's that. Painted lady caterpillars eating morning glory leaf. It's beautiful. All right, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Bye. Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's the next morning. I just wanted to say that the painted lady caterpillars are definitely eating the morning glory now. They start off on the bottom and then they work their way up, where you can definitely see some chew holes. Caterpillars generally double in size every day or two. They grow really, really fast. So in a couple days, we're gonna have like hundreds and hundreds. Over here, painted ladies are laying lots and lots of eggs. So I can't really tell. I'm sure you can see that. They mostly lay underneath, but they like to lay on top too. That's why I like to get a leaf that curls so that they can get underneath it. But yeah, that's basically what I do. I like to open it up and give them some fresh air so that there's no condensation. Humidity is good, but water droplets is bad. Put the cover back on that. Over here, the monarchs. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this guy on the end looks like he has reached the end of his life, or her. No mating this year. I'm gonna start mounting and pinning them as they become unalived. And yeah, next year we will order some eggs and caterpillars maybe. We'll order the eggs, not caterpillars. So that's that. That's what I've got going on. That's what we've got going on. Pretty cool. Good job, everybody. Love ya. See you later. It's still early in the morning, so they don't really get active until later, but just want to show you. They are enjoying drinking the Gatorade. I already wet the enclosure, so that's done with. All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Oh my goodness, that is a lot more caterpillars. And the glass is foggy. That is not good. It's not too bad, but it is bad enough for me to be concerned. So I'm gonna open it up. Ooh, I can't do it with one hand. Can I? Yeah, I can. Anyone on the lid? No, no one's trying to get out. So it's good that they're eating the morning glory. I don't think anyone is like, you know, melted yet. They're still moving around in there. Anything crazy going on? Yeah, they start out at the bottom. It's hard to see. And then they work their way up. Everyone looks really good. Maybe I'll put in a couple more sheets of paper towel, because as they eat, you know, the plant starts to perspire. But it looks like they're doing well, so I'm gonna keep an eye on it. And now I know for next time to put more paper towels and not to use a pickle jar. I'm gonna be using a Chinese food court container, because the lid is not flared, you know, it's straight or whatever, so concave, I don't know. Looks good. They're still wiggling. I'm definitely gonna get several from this batch, so that's it for now. I'll keep in touch. Just wanted to show you guys that I just got home and I've got some worms. Bye. Okay, everybody, Butterflies for Garden, Jason Sebastian. As you can see, the caterpillars have taken over the morning glory leaves, completely eating it from the bottom up. The jar method worked, but I think it got a little too humid towards the bottom. Sometimes the water droplets are not particularly healthy when getting mixed with the poop. There is no mold, but we could definitely foresee bacterial growth in the future. So what I'm planning on doing after a bunch of thought was we're going to take the leaf and move it into this new enclosure. It's actually a net inside of a net because they're not quite big enough for the full-sized net, and the little tiny jar did not seem to be working very well. So I'm gonna move them through here, and then I will put a new leaf back in the jar to collect any stragglers, and then we'll move them out as well. So let me get you guys set up. I'm gonna do this as gently as possible. Make sure I'm not squishing anybody. We've still got like a full water tube. That is very good. So I'm just gonna put it in here and lean it against all the other leaves. I see 1, 2, 3 little baby caterpillars fell on the floor. So what I'm gonna do is I take a little piece of that's how big they are. That was a close one. This other leaf has more babies in there as well. Can I safely transfer them? Yep, this is really munchin' and bunchin'. Okay, but there's still a bunch of babies in the jar. I think I'm gonna put a couple more bits of paper towel in there. And then I will add the new leaf. As carefully as I can't. I did my best, everybody. So yeah. There's one on the floor. Okay. Now I'm gonna zip you guys back up. And I guess I don't really need to zip this one. So there's a lot of leaves in there and a lot of babies. I'm probably not even gonna touch this for like 2 days unless it looks like, you know, they need more food, but the goal is to not disturb them. There's more space in here. The stragglers usually don't survive as well. Maybe I can push it down a little bit. Because we want it pressing against the wall. And then the last thing that I want you guys to know is that it's important to, whatever side the leaves are leaning against, that should be the one facing the light, because that's where they're gonna crawl. And yeah, that's it. That's really what I want to show you guys. We have lots of babies, lots and lots of babies. Oh, and then over here, I've got another leaf with lots of eggs. They're probably gonna start hatching by like a day or two. Can I zoom in? So I've got more eggs. Maybe I can do a little better in a Chinese food container or something. I'm not quite sure how I want to do that. Maybe I'll split it up and put it into some petri dishes. That's another idea that I liked, but I'll let you guys know how it looks maybe tomorrow. So that's it for now. Love you guys. They're already walking onto the new leaf. And yeah, we've got a good amount of painted ladies, everybody. As for the actual butterflies, they are doing well. No one has died yet. Even our little weirdo chunker guys, he might be him. He might be on the way out. Come on. But they know where to lay their eggs, they know where to drink the nectar. That's good. And then the last thing I want to show you guys is my monarchs. First two to die. And we've got some still walking around, being active. Yeah, it's not the cleanest, but we do what we can. I'm focusing on the painted ladies since the monarchs didn't mate this year. It's gonna order some eggs next year, but monarch season's over. We got 8. Now we're focusing on painted ladies because they don't overwinter. Okay, everybody, I'm going to focus on other things right now. Cleaned up the area and happy about that. Love you guys. Bye.